Sort of walk you through a little bit about Python and how it integrates with Abaqus, particularly Abaqus CAE, and what that means in terms of being able to maximize your Abaqus investment with that Python code. So what's the goal for today's webinar? If you've already read the brief, you'll basically see here that we've sort of got 4 goals that I want to try and achieve today. The first one is to give you an introduction to the Abaqus Python API, which really supports and enhances the Abaqus CAE offering experience. Obtain a little bit of an understanding about some of the underlying Python fundamentals that are adopted in Abaqus CAE. Learn how to modularize and standardize some of your Python workflows and underlying investment, and to gain an appreciation for some third-party module integration as well. Now, as we go through this webinar, I'm going to present in approximately 5 sections, and each section is going to cover a slightly different topic. And hopefully we can fit this within about a 40-45 minute window with a little bit of time, about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes for questions as we close the actual webinar. So section 1, what I'd like to do here is just introduce the audience to basically what is Python, why we recommend that you learn Python, and then cover some topics around Abaqus CAE Python integration. So how do you actually integrate Python into the Abaqus CAE product? So what is Python? It's an interpreted object-oriented language. It's a high-level programming language, and it has or involves dynamic semantics. So what do I mean by dynamic semantics? Basically, in this context, it means that there are no declarations required, like you might face in other languages. The type of the object, if you will, or the type of what you're trying to program is inferred and inherited as you actually create it and declare it. It's pretty simple relative to other languages. It's relatively easy to learn, and the syntax is really quite readable. So Python is emphasizing a lot of readability, and therefore in terms of a sort of language or a scripting language, it really reduces the cost of program maintenance. And at its roots, Python really encourages the uses of program modularity and code reuse. And this is something I really want to touch on towards the end of this webinar, particularly for people that are new to the Abaqus Python or to the Python world. I want to really show what it means to be a bit more modular in code and how we can sort of look to facilitate code for code reuse. So what does that actually all mean in the context of somebody who's using Abaqus?